10 times in 3 days and has won 1 game.
It's sick against TV though.
Yeah.
And if Liquid still end up deciding to take the Omni, it's also excellent against Omni Knight, which I think would have been Liquid's preferred pick here.
You think Omni or I was thinking maybe Dragon Knight.
DK offlane. I thought about it too, and they've run it against the Razor before.
Yeah.
And Mind Control doesn't seem to really care.
He just pulls the lane.
Yeah.
They look excited about something here for the 5th.
I just see Mind Control just punching his hand. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking something like just get in their faces, because just like some frontliner, some more disable, so they can actually land the rest of their spells.
Nothing cheesy.
I like the Nyx ban by OG. I actually think that was a
but
Omni
they
or
need, like disables catch kind of.
Playing tied against... I would have said tied too, but isn't playing tied against Disruptor really annoying?
You have to worry about his ultimate, I guess. I just feel like they need some... I guess they have tanky heroes, they just don't have very fast heroes. They need somebody that can like instantly engage the fight in a good way. Nothing really does that on their team right now. Like, I feel like they're on the back foot a lot as soon as Tinker gets linked.
Offlane? Death Prophet. Let's go.
Mind Control is ready, dude. Look at him.
Pugna.
It's banned.
Banned early on. Yeah.
Nature's
Alright.
Prophet.
Oh, the MC
Kinda greedy.
Nature's Prophet.
Okay.
Take your pick.
Oh, he was
Well,
excited.
That's why he was so excited.
Yeah.
There's no coddle, so...
Oh man.
Yeah, that's why he's got something he likes. And OG have had a very interesting draft. What have you made of that, Kevin?
It's a good way to catch Tinker. It's not... They don't have the most wave clear on OG's side, so I think it could potentially work here. It can also go far and catch heroes and let their allies catch up. Okay.
Alright, okay. Has it swayed you in any way?
I think I like the OG draft better.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Alright. So Kevin for OG. Blitz?
I think this game I might go OG. I think it's really close and Liquid might be the better team, so they might end up winning anyways, but I think I like OG's draft.
Okay.
I think I like OG's draft,
10
but
seconds
I
to
think
go.
I'm going to repeat the same thing I said last time, that I think Liquid just on another level of outplay, so I'm going to go Liquid still.
Yeah, we could just record those for you and then just play them back each game if you want. It's easier.
There was a difference. We were 2 out of 3.
It is 2 out of 3 this time around again. Let's bring a commentary team in for game number 2. Gents, interesting first game, obviously, but kind of fairly predictable. Does game 2 look the same way to you?
Cap, you're the expert. What do you reckon?
I think this game, I'll still kind of lead with the panel when I do like OG's lineup a little bit more. I think the last pick was a struggle, but hey, this is a Mind Control Furion. This is one of the hero player combinations that was so feared at the TI finals that they lit it out once and banned it for the rest of the series.
Absolutely.
Newbie could not handle it. I think that, you know, I'm leaning towards OG, but individual player performance on this hero, Mind Control.
Before people like Mind Control, oh, he's the kid who plays the Nature's Prophet, right? This was his hero. And you can see, you know, TI is in the bag and such, Mind Control, he's sat down. He was so ready to play this. He was clapping his hands. It was smiles all around from Mind Control.
Oh, he's
He was so excited for this game. And when someone looks that happy about playing that hero, I'd be terrified if I was on the other side. Like,
Yeah.
Mind Control, there must have been a reason why he was so happy. He's played against some of these heroes. He knows the strengths of it. So for me, it's going to be all eyes on him to see how that sort of joy of playing the hero translates into this game.
I remember that moment where Mind Control sniped the Courier at that first game for the TI final. That is something not be allowed to happen for this game or OG.
So, anyways, we said the strengths for the Nature's Prophet. What is it about OG's lineups that feels strange? So to me, the Tinker, it is a good game for the Tinker. And you have got that Tinker versus Terrorblade, which we've seen being quite a difficult matchup for the Terrorblade to play into if the Tinker gets a good timing on his Ags before he's losing the racks, before those pushes come in.
Yeah, the biggest thing is that they just don't have Tinker Hunters, right? They just really don't. Their supports aren't really good at being able to catch out the Tinker necessarily. They aren't heroes that really sneak around the map or give you vision or really give you like a big jump or anything like that. None of the cores really do that either. It's going to be up to Furion, it's up to Mind Control to be able to have a good enough game that he can threaten the Furion with his orders.
Jab there at Miracle, but backup is there from the Bane. Creative runes down there, but overall, Liquid are the ones to get 3 at 4 bounty. Nice little bit of a cash bonus for Liquid at the start of this game too.
So the matchup here, OG is going to go for the aggro to try and put pressure on the Terrorblade, but it does mean we're going to have the Furion versus Brewmaster, which we saw Exotic Deer in that same matchup crush the laning phase. So with a Mind Control Furion, it's possible does the same. But then again, it's an S4 Brewmaster. They are some quintessential hero player combinations here.
Lane at the moment, OG just sort of mirroring the support movements of Liquid. GH and Kuro are down here. So are Fly and Jerax. Both teams securing both Rezo and Miracle that crucial farm. He actually being the ones being back a little bit here. One of the strengths of having this Elder Titan, getting that right click built up there. But the fact that you have these 3 heroes to pass it over, that spirit.
Look at that, GH and Kuro just fearless. Just as the 2-man, they're just willing to push into the 3 of OG because they feel like they've got the spirit damage. Bane is also one of the better heroes of trading out, especially since still isn't leveled, but he could get Brain Tap. So they just create a lot of space for Miracle to actually get CS, which is supposed to be difficult in this try versus try scenario.
Top lane, S4. Getting moved in on a bit by Mind Control, who's being afforded to play very aggressive in this top matchup.
He's blown through almost all of his tangos already, and he's going to have to use his ult soon.
Pressure really beating up for S4 on this top lane. Mind Control.
Oh, the crazy snipe, don't tell me!
Is he going to get it? Oh, he's in the tree.
A little off.
A little off.
Fortunately, with the free TP that you get at the start, okay. No real punishment to be had. Jerax really smart. Look what he's doing right now. They unblocked their pull, which they need in the try versus try scenario. Jerax goes in, body blocks it again at the Tomb to Mark.
Ain't no tell. Amatuma manning up against one another. Who's going to win this exchange? The bots are helping out, but it's not enough.
You ever played Frogger? That was a game of Frogger right there. He was just dodged and marched the machine while Laser was still on him.
First blood there. Oh, that Viper in the mid lane. That's Amatuma, man.
They're going to try and wrap around on him. Jerax is only level 1, though.
That's a level 3 Viper as well. Got the point in the corrosive skin. And as much as the body blocks for Jerax are nice, not quite great enough to secure a kill. It's all approaching it at this state.
Yeah, and with a March and Machines build, which is what No-Tail should be going in this lane, but it also means you don't really have any kill power for these wraparounds. So Jerax is kind of giving up on their try versus try. They are just going to leave Resolution here. At a certain point, if you're not getting kills in an aggro tri lane, you need to abort because it just means you're losing out on experience.
And just as to say, all of the lanes really looking to struggle. Sure, the mid, the CS is alright, but they got the first blood there. At the top lane, 17 for 2, 15 for 1, a little bit of an edge for Mind Control. He's keeping S4 low. In the bottom lane, of course, as you say, it's just not working out for the Razor. The constant enfeeble, the pressure from the supports of Liquid, making sure that the space is there for Miracle to farm, and Resolution, he can't use that strength as the Razor against the Terrorblade with the static link as he would wish to because of the way that Liquid are.
The CS matchup is pretty even, though, on both sides. We're seeing the Brewmaster do relatively fine against a Furion, even if he has to blow through lots of regen, even got himself a bottle. And then we had the mid matchup where the Tinker's actually doing all right, but obviously he died earlier, giving up first. So his laning phase is relatively even. I do think it needs to go well for OG, though. Particularly shutting down Miracle, but it's just not happening. We've seen this a lot of times. Aggro Duel and aggro tri-lanes into Terrorblade. He's just so hard to put harassment damage on and threaten because of his super high armor start. He has the highest armor at the start of the game. Hero.
That point in reflection, helping out each time a static link is attempted on Matuma Man. Getting very low in the mid lane though. And with their wraparound for Jerax, they are going to look to try and dive in. Matuma Man though, kiting him up through the trees. He's able to turn and take him down. The help of Kuro seeping in. GH there as well. No-Tail, he'll get punished as well. But Matuma Man surviving, salving back up to full health. As the play from OG just wasn't there in the mid lane. Jerax trying to dive in. It was night time, but he absolutely overestimated his capabilities of the Night Stalker.
Yeah, he was a level 1 nuke, and on top of that, it's going to be dispelled by the fact he's got corrosive skin level 2 on the Viper. So even though he was on very low HP, you don't have the damage to actually threaten him. He could have healing salved as well in between hits. Any of those options were available for him. So he's going to get his level 6 well before No-Tail has his level 5 even. That is going to kill the lane for No-Tail. I think he's actually just got to go jungle at a certain point, and maybe someone else takes over the mid lane, maybe the Disruptor. fact, if he doesn't get out now, he may die to Mind Control's wrap.
Oh, he is Mind Control. TPing in, lays down the Sprout. TPs will be coming through to try and help out OG. They put the Viper Strike down onto NOTAM, but Timberman just mans up, looks for the kill, is not phased at all by a level 3 TP in from Fly, who was also very low on mana. 4th kill for Liquid, 2k lead. Building up very, very early. Mind Control will be found out on the retreat. He's trying to get back to the shrine. Sal's up. Oh, is that going to save him? It will. The Sal between the hits buys him time. He turns with the Sprout, goes for the TP. He makes it away. Jerax can't even get the kill on Mind Control, retreating on minimal health there. That's, I mean, if he's not still smiling and clapping, I'll be surprised.
And you've heard it, Owen, right? Like, how many times have you heard somebody say a Night Stalker has to have a good first night?
This is nothing more than just a sleepless night, really, for Night Stalker, as he's not having that start at all.
No, certainly not level 2 at 6 minutes in, and they managed to kill the Razor at bottom lane. Looks like they're even going for the kill on Fly. Beautiful body blocking here from Mind Control.
The Stomp as well, buying time to surround him with those Treants. A 6th kill for Liquid. They are holding nothing back in this game too, straight from the off. S4 walks towards mid with that primal split, maybe seeing if he could find an angle to get in onto the Viper, but it's a hard kill as it is, and he'll just make the slow walk back up to top lane as he realizes nothing is there to be found. Bottom lane getting pressured in by Liquid. Resolution turning up, but this level 4 Razor, what does he do at this stage? He static links, is immediately broken. S4 will TP in. He's got the split. Kuro just goes for the straight TP out, and he'll make him. No way to stop it. And no time for S4 to pop the split and get the stun off. So they'll lose the tower. This is looking rough for OG.
No-Tail still isn't level 6. He's got his Soul Ring finally. He wants to be able to go back into the jungle and clear through some of his stacks. He sees Mind Control. Mind Control being super aggressive is going to be forced away by Jerax's teeth.
Jerax tries to go for the chase down. Get a few punches in. He was trying to get a position for the body block. S4 is there as well. Fly also, they're sending in mass numbers mid. Fly seeing if he can get some sort of control onto Matumba, but Matumba just goes in with the Viper Strike. The Astral Echo Stomp's there as well from G8, setting up for a 7th kill for Liquid. It just doesn't stop.
S4 is struggling to find a place in this game as well, because he was having fine time in his laning phase, but the other lanes were going poorly. So he tried to wrap on mid lane, tried to go for the Viper. Matumba Man was one step ahead of him, tried to go for the bottom lane. We had that Nightmare Kuro TP outplay as well. He's read back into mid, still not finding a opportunity to go for that primal split. Like, he needs to be able to utilize this to be able to get them some sort of kills, because OG is just suffering so badly in their laning phase. They need to offset that somehow.
Found himself an invis rune here. Was under the obs ward, so unlikely that Matumba could go for any sort of plays. Gonna hang around, maybe see if someone comes in momentarily, hold off with the Viper Strike. TP does come through, but OG more than wise to do so. Bottom lane, bit of an attempt onto Kuroki, but Kuroki holds back one with the Nightmare. Miracle moves in, and the massive Nature's Wrath bounce there, perfectly done by Mind Control, getting a huge nuke on top of the Night Stalker. Will secure yet another kill for Liquid.
And Mind Control can still position himself in front of this push from S4.
Oh, and look at the build as well from Mind Control. The straight treads Meteor Hammer's what he wants. He is ready to style on these fools. As we've seen, you know, this item, it is great. It has got a lot of strong purposes, and in a game like this, it's going to make the push so strong, so quick from Liquid's lineup, and it's going to make the catch even more potent there. A Sprout into Meteor Hammer. There's more than enough time for Mind Control to beat down any of these heroes.
Yeah, it's going to be less effective if Tinker can actually get farm into level 2 rearm, and if he gets the Blink Dagger, then the Meteor Hammer takes such a long time to drop that combination, it wouldn't give him solo kill potential against the Tinker, which is why I thought he would go Orchid. But it will give them this overwhelming push. Liquid is just going to push the tempo of this game against OG and say, we're going to go from winning the laning phase to taking all of your towers, and that's another way you can really threaten the Tinker. Even if you don't have Tinker Hunters, if you can limit all the outer map control before he gets bots and Blink, then he has a hard time being able to find farm on the map. And if he does find farm, he's usually soaking all of it up, and he usually means his allies end up fighting for him.
S4, he's got that Blink complete on the Brewmaster, and this is so important for OG that they make something happen here, because if they don't, this game is going to be in complete shambles. They have to get a pick with this.
And look at Kuro, he's just sitting behind Matumba Man, knowing that it's probably target number 1.
Well, we'll get the split off. They put the field down. They're looking towards Matumba Man. Glimpse back onto Kuroki. Matumba Man still alive for now. Pops the 1 charges, trying to get out of there. There's the Sunder as well from Miracle. Buying time for Matumba Man to get out. And OG, they just can't get the kill here. Flies the 1 to 4. The Sleep Stop comes out onto 3. OG lose 2. Miracle there with the pro play coming in with the save, allowing them to man up and move in for more. They're going to get 3. They're going to get 4. No Tail's going to fall as well. It's 12-0. Liquid just aren't dying. And you can absolutely see why Mind Control was just in pure glee off the back of this draft. This is the reason why he was smiling and clapping his hands. He knew that they had this draft in the bag. He knew that they had this play in the bag. It's 11 minutes in. It's 12-0, 6K lead, and Liquid, they're pushing for more.
The play the panel talked about was that series where Mind Control played the support Vengeful Spirit, and they talked about how selfless that is. And it went into the philosophy of Liquid and how they play for each other. Miracle's play there with the Sunder, that's playing for the rest of your team. The fact he's willing to sit behind his teammates there and use Sunder, like, normally you would see Terrorblade just off farming some side lanes, but...
Getting gone on by Jerax, but he turns with the Viper Strike. Jerax is just dead.
How about that?
Glimpse back, they duet the Static Storm, he'll try for the TP out, but with the clap, there we go. OG get themselves the first kill on the board. They look towards Kuro, can they get themselves a second? They can't. Kuro's able to TP out of there. So OG, at least able to finally put a dent into the lineup of Liquid.
That was 900 gold change for that 1 kill. Oh boy.
It's a rich disruptor.
Yeah, 650 gold for him. They desperately needed that on the Tinker. He still does not have boots of travel. He's still trying to just, you know, clear through this stack in the offlane jungle, or its own jungle area, and still hasn't been able to do it because the pressure has just been mounting from Liquid this whole time. He also has to be the one to sit in front of these power pushes and get out those March of the Machines, but isn't getting the opportunity to do both.
Players to be next. I mean, GH, he's now got that level 6, so in these team fights, which we've seen quite a few where it's turned into a full 5v5, the Earth Splitter going to be deadly, especially with the setup they've already got, the Sprout, the complete Meteor Hammer on Mind Control, all of these stuns sort of being thrown out in the midst of these fights that are going to be fatal for OG if they make a wrong step. 13 kills before the 13-minute mark for Liquid. They're 3 cores, quite that bit ahead of the 3 cores of OG, at least to clear 1k between all 3 of them.
You know what the really OP thing about Meteor Hammer, in my opinion, right now, is the fact that it's a 25-second cooldown, so you could just clear every single wave as it comes up. So Mind Control can effectively push 2 lanes all the time, if not all 3. Treants on one side, Meteor Hammering another, and then the Wrath of Nature constant. That much space creates opportunities for Liquid to be able to move around as like these 3 or 4 man units, kind of hunting some of the heroes of OG, and just getting the better positioning for themselves when it comes to the pushes as well. That being said, the Boots of Travel is finally up on the Tinker, so he can kind of offset some of that pressure on the side lanes and even put some pressure of his own as we're seeing what's happening here at this bottom lane.
Absolutely, and as you said, this is one of the strengths. You know, catch for the Tinker is not amazing, so No Tail, he can get away with these pushes. Feel relatively safe doing so at the moment.
Yeah, and they're continuing to, like, they don't even go for a Shadow Blade on the Viper or anything like that. Matu goes for Helmet Dominator and looking at Blade Mail. So again, they're focused more on the brute force push that's going to be happening later on to the game, rather than trying to find the tank and shut him down. They've already shut him down enough in the laning. They'll continue to keep the pace of the game so they can end it before it gets too big.
Troll was pushing in with Timmerman there as well. Troll will back up. Timmerman with that Helmet of Dom, he's got the Mud Golem ready to stun and catch out anyone that walks in his way. Doesn't want to hang around too long now over that side of the map. Top are looking for Picos. Primal splits back up. And some sort of a very defensive at the moment, OG. Lanes getting pushed, and the way that Liquid have been able to force OG to play as safe as they are, sort of grouped up as 4 for the most part. It's very hard for OG to catch up on their cores with regards to the farm.
this next daytime is going to be particularly potent for Liquid. They'll have Metamorphosis up about the same time the day comes up, but actually they're hunting the Night Stalker right now. Just a little bit shy of catching him.
Tell there as well with the D push. Down the hammer, so that's for the mid, trying to keep GH away from a bit of farm himself on that Elder Titan.
Kuro setting up for the TP rotations.
What he can do here, Resolution straight away though, pops the other stuff, they got the Static Storm as well, so Kuro will lose his life. We'll see if the rest of Liquid can clean up. The TP straight up being attempted by the Razor will be successful. Fly as well will escape. Good disengage from OG, meaning that none of their lives will be lost today.
Yeah, smart by Fly committing that Static Storm. They couldn't afford to get that Nightmare Fiend's Grave combination where they're both held in place while TP rotations come in. So they actually get away scot-free. Get a second kill on the board. I don't know, things are kind of slowing down in this game, and that's good for OG, I believe. They just need the dagger on the Tinker, everything. And once he gets the blink, he can play this split push game a lot more aggressive.
Through him and Summer Man walked into the smoke. OG, they have to jump with the Primal Split, focusing the Viper. But Summer Man's all on his own. The rest of Liquid will leave him be. Relatively tanky, but they've got the chase down. But Summer Man will fall. OG with the smoke getting one big kill. Even more, they've got their eyes onto Kuroki. They have the vision for the glimpse back into the kinetic field. OG striking back here and will take two.
They bait out the Tinker really well, but also my favorite thing of that fight was the fact that both Jerix and S4 looked for that extra kill immediately and found it with the Kuro sitting in the back of the Bane. Because again, when you're ahead this much, even that extra support kill is actually worth so much to you. Not just in gold, but also experience, map control you're going to get with those two heroes gone.
Sure. Looking over into the pit at the moment. Got that ward outside that was watching the whereabouts of S4. He's try for Roche here.
Meteor hammers all around, by the way, Jerix gone.
Oh my goodness. Mind Control's in on Roche. This is quite an early Roche attempt. I mean, with the Viper and the Terrorblade, they can certainly do it. Pulse the Metamorphosis.
I think they feel there's just no way that OG.
Yeah. Without the Primal Split, that's pretty much their big team fight. Sure, there's a Static Storm, but they really do need both tools, OG, to have a chance in these team fights. So Liquid will get themselves this free Roshan, GH outside of the pit, keeping OG's attentions elsewhere. Roche will be claimed, the Aegis into the hands of Miracle. Keep it across from Mind Control, does find the Sprout onto Jerix. Jerix quickly fights his way out. Akuro's there with the Fiend's Grip. Meteor Hammer a little bit too late as Jerix is able to walk away. Static Storm from Fly cancels the Fiend's Grip. OG keep their distance, won't lose any of their own lives. Resolution continuing to try and split push down on that bottom lane. The mid-tier 2's in trouble. Miracle able to use the rest of that Metamorphosis to bring the tower down low. Can't quite finish it off for now. They'll come back for that later. Liquid will TP themselves out. Mind Control straight down bottom to alleviate some of the pressure applied by Resolution.
So they may have gotten Aegis, but at the same time, OG still have all of their tier 2s up by the time they've gotten Blink Dagger for this Tinker. Level 13 as well, so he's getting towards his max nukes. Considering the start of this game, Owen, I don't think this timing is too bad. OG have really stopped the bleeding in this game.
And as we saw, last game, they were certainly good at that, at position where they did have sort of that net worth disadvantage, but they still showed us that they can slow down the pace of the struggle was in last game being actually able to return it into their favor, gain that advantage once again. We'll see if they are able to do it this time round. So once again, we are seeing OG's ability to slow down the pace, the tempo. Liquid's trying to fall. Do not have the Fiend's Grip, but they do have the Meteor Page.
No, you have to right-click him!
Oh no, Kuro didn't right-click through the Nightmare! And now Kuro, he may pay for this. He's sort of surrounded, they've got the March of the Machines down. Kuro is going to fall. As you said, one right-click from Kuro there would have sufficed.
And now it may just get worse. They might be able to grab more heroes here.
They've got the vision onto Miracle. Miracle getting glimpsed back into the field. Kura's going to buy back, but the static storm's down. They'll lose the Aegis on Miracle. Primal splits out. OG looking to take more out of this one. Fly will get surrounded by the Treants. They'll lose Fly, OG, but NOTAL keeping these March machines built up. There will be the attempt from the Meteor Hammer from Mind Control. He'll go for the Cell Sprout and the TP out, but they have the Void to cancel that TP. Mind Control will fall.
Oh, nice force.
And they get more out of this one. The Primal Split will end. S4 getting turned towards by Matsuma Man. The haze is out. Matsuma Man can't get the hits in. The blink out will be there. NOTAL does get surrounded though. He'll get one more march out, but will be taken down. GH still with his eyes onto Jerax. Jerax with his eyes back towards GH. Looking for the chase around GH, trying for the Dukes. Keeping himself hidden in the trees. Jerax will be aware of his position, but looks like Jerax is scared. He knows that there's more coming in from Liquid. Kuro finds the Nightmare. GH will be allowed to close the gap with the Stomp. They have got Matsuma Man here as well to make sure that they've got just the right amount of damage to finish off Jerax, as Jerax will fall amongst the tree line. So still Liquid, they do come out slightly on top. They managed to get a tier 2, but as we said, it ends up being a little scrappy for them just because they didn't get that quick kill at the start.
Yeah, a couple of questionable positionings there from Big Daddy NOTAL. The first time he comes in, he actually puts himself in the trees and has to run back to TP away, and then obviously TP's back in, gets caught. As a result, they may just end up losing a lane of racks now. Yeah.
See, despite that little bit of a blunder from Kuro, it really doesn't matter here as this top racks are in trouble. The tier 3 gets taken down. Liquid with the pipe complete continue to push on, focusing the barracks. Can OG hold this back? They've lost S4. He's down for 40 seconds. Does have buyback, but he doesn't have the primal split. So Liquid, they'll be allowed to take that tier 3, take the melee racks. The range racks falling low as well, but Liquid back off. There's a glimpse onto Miracle, but the Manta style dodge. Dodging that glimpse. The stomps out onto Tsu. Liquid, they're ready to go back in onto OG. They'll find Fly. Jerax held down on the side by the Fiend script from Kuro. There's 3 falling on OG. The racks are gone. The 10k lead continues to grow. 19-6, 22 minutes in. Liquid, as we said, they're going to have to pull off a lot more mistakes than that for to allow OG to get back in this one, as they are just so far ahead right now.
Yeah, the timing, Owen, here that we were looking for OG was to get the Aghanim Scepter before your high ground is pierced by Liquid. Well, that Aghanim Scepter is so far away for the Tinker, and they've already lost 1 lane of racks. So Liquid is free for probably next 5, maybe even 10 minutes to slowly but surely take those other 2 lanes, and I just don't see a way for OG to be able to get fast gold for Big Daddy NOTAL while simultaneously stopping the next upcoming pushes of Liquid. Suda's Metamorphosis is back up. I mean, they've got BKB coming in. Maybe they'll wait for that for a Miracle just because they don't have the Aegis anymore. But when that's up, force it.
Hood as well, picked up for Kuro. Make sure that he's even more safe to sort of frontline this go for the Fiend script players in the midst of the fights. Just already the pipe from Mind Control helping out massively on those sort of high ground sieges into the Tinker spam. 11k lead, double damage down bottom. Yeah, 2 on that they will. They'll secure that from a Matsuma Man to grab, pick up.
They have so many good answers for the Tinker spam. When it does come up, even if he did have that Aghanim Scepter right now, they have Mech and Pipe for Mind Control. They're going to have a BKB for Miracle when he does want to go high ground and just right-click those buildings. Like, the Viper is super tanky as well. He's got a BKB of his own to be able to force things. I wouldn't even be surprised if Kuro at one point in time takes up a thing.
Yeah, sort of the 2 instances, one after another. Incredibly strong. A 6-game win streak on the line here for NOTAL. This game, once again, really is OG up against everything. Against the world, as it seemed with Liquid. Montreal just waltzing in.
And yeah, with 1 lane of racks gone, and especially with a Fury on your team, you're always going to lose your backdoor protection to some of these pushes, and that leaves open. Chip away at the tier 3s.
So that's your BKB you talked about being finished on Miracle. So now, very little fear when it comes to trying to break the high ground if you're Liquid. BKB is pretty much making these 2 cores invincible against OG's lineup.
Yeah, take that second shrine, take the tier 2 at bottom. You know OG is unlikely to defend it. They're probably pretty skittish about getting into any engagements against Liquid when they're up 11k like this.
Hotel. He's blinked into Mind Control in. Mind Control going for the Meteor Hammer. Will be there to cancel the stun. Hold Hotel in place. He goes for the rearm. Does manage to get the blink off. So should escape, and he will do so. Mind Control nearly threatening the life of a Tinker on his own as this Nature's Prophet. Being able to force Notel back to base will mean that Mind Control can get that bottom lane pushed around. And Liquid can look for that third and final tier 2.
Yeah, normally it's like we talk about when a Furion game, can you deal with the Furion split push? Here it's actually the Furion's going to be dealing very well with Tinker split push, addressing that issue. He pushes back in the way. Team can maintain an aggressive front on OG just outside of their base, making sure that pretty much no one feels comfortable on the side of OG of pushing themselves out and getting that greedy farm. Only Notail who can pick up CS and maybe Resolution when it comes to any CS that's right outside of the base.
There we go. Another outer tower taken by Liquid. No chance for OG to put a stop to it. The Earth Splitter gets thrown into the base. Flip onto a couple of them. Now, Summerman as well. Look at it go in. They've got the Beam Script onto Jax. Jax is just dead. A Miracle on the back lines. He's popping the Metamorphosis, and he's just shoving into OG. Resolution does get the link off, but Miracle just walks in and kills off the Tinker. The Sunder keeping Miracle alive. Has had a lot of his right click soaked up, but that's 2 dead on OG. Notail has to buy back for this defense, as now his second lane of tier 3s and Rax in trouble. Matsumaman does get glimpsed back, pops the BKB. S4 jumps in with the Primal Split, manages to get it off. But the pipe's already out for Liquid. They just turn. They're beating down into these Brewlings, ripping S4 apart. As OG, it just seems like they don't quite have the damage to fight into this. That's 2 Brewlings nearly down. They've got the Sprout. Resolution's stuck. He does force out of it. Fly gets sent to sleep. He manages to get the Static Storm down onto 3. S4 comes back in with a clap. But outside of it all, Miracle's just forcing them back, punching into them. OG just can't finish off these kills. The Meteor Hammer gets thrown down onto S4. S4's gone for 50 seconds. Liquid have taken the tier 3. They'll look to move onto the barracks. They'll back off a little bit from the March spam, as OG managing to temporarily hold them off.
If you can't win a fight like with that Static Storm, with that Kinetic Field Static Storm combination that Fly pretty much got all by himself, you can't win the fight. You can't even do enough to force Liquid outside of your base and keep S4 from dying. You're out of ammo at that point in time. You won't have Static Storm for the next push. You're going to have another Metamorphosis BKB push this time around. There's no tier 3, so the racks are going to get gobbled up super quickly.
I think there was that Liquid having a bit of a mango break. I think a couple of those were swallowed, getting everyone back up to full mana, meaning that they could go straight back in. The mangoes are in them. Liquid's ready to go back in with the push. Rezo tries for the static link, gets broken straight away as the Nightmare holds him back. Viper strike down onto Rezo. He's able to force back, but this is just forcing himself away from the bigger issue, the fact they're losing the racks. Notail gets caught on the sideline. That's the Tinker down for 68 seconds. BKB's pop from Miracle as he just heads in, forces OG all the way back to base. Jax will be able to flap himself into the fountain, but a second set of racks are gone. Liquid move towards the middle. They can go for the racks, they can go for the tier 4, they can go for the game, because at 28 minutes, a 20k gold lead, and on the verge of having mega creeps, this game looks irrecoverable for OG.
Absolutely. 40 seconds, and he was just about to pick up an ad.
And here we go again. I mean, it's a nice Static Storm onto a couple of heroes, but where is the follow-up? They've lost Resolution. He's gone for 50. He does not have buyback. Nobody on Liquid is dying.
They just take no damage.
They just stand their ground. There's the GG. Good luck called by Fly. This game is over. This series absolutely over. No question about it. Game 1 looked pretty one-sided. Game 2 looked like OG never battled in this game.
And it's a similar storyline for both, which is we had one big intelligence core who just lacked the damage to be able to really threaten the whole entire Liquid lineup. I think the same question that we're dealing with Storm Spirit right now is if the game is oftentimes no longer about whether or not we have the control for the Storm Spirit, but whether or not the Storm Spirit can actually kill and break these heroes. Are they squishy enough for Storm to get in, get those kills, and get out? It's the same thing here in this game for the Tinker. Instead of having Tinker Hunters, which is traditionally the narrative, Liquid just go, what happens if they can't actually just stop our pushes? What happens if we just win the lanes, we go, and shove all these towers in, and with that gold lead, we get our BKBs and end it.
Absolutely.